Communities across the Arklatex are currently developing plans of action that go beyond the protest. This week we sit down with Shreveport Police Chief Ben Raymond. The head of SPD explains how the death of George Floyd and others sparked policy changes within the department. It was a call to action across the globe immediately following the death of George Floyd. For many, what happened in Minneapolis reopened the problem that hits close to home.
We heard the name Marquise Hudspeth. We heard the name Anthony Childs. We've heard the name recently Tommy McLaughlin. Those names were being chanted right alongside with the George Floyd. And so what that tells me is, at least just in some portion of the community, those are still issues that have not been settled.
Shreveport Police Chief Ben Raymond has attended some of the protests in the city, and he says he's been listening.
So if I have enough citizens tell me that they need to see change, then that's indication to me that there needs to be change.
According to him, there will be changes made in direct response to what happened to Floyd.
I've heard a lot of call for people. They want to see in our policy that you cannot put a chokehold or a stranglehold or in any way restrict airflow to a person you're trying to arrest. So we're going to put that specific verbiage in our use of force policy. Now I think that's one perfect example of us listening to the citizen.
Officers can also expect mental health training specifically related to the death of Tommy McLaughlin. They'll learn how to recognize the symptoms and respond appropriately to excited delirium. Defensive tactics will also be addressed, focusing on what not to do.
So I can't just show you a defensive tactics move, 4 hours a year and expect you to be proficient. And so we just need to make sure officers completely understand the defensive tactics, completely understand these techniques are being taught so that they're not conducted improperly.
Raymond wants to continue the conversations by adding a unique approach to town hall meetings.
It's difficult to talk about local issues because there are so many laws and policies and procedures that prevent you from talking about them when they're current. Let's talk about national issues. So let's talk about George Floyd.
They would address how SPD would handle the case and give a timeline and explanation on disciplining officers.
And that's going to help answer questions when we have a Tommy McLaughlin incident so people can understand, well, we may not talk specifically about Tommy McLaughlin, but I understand the process because we discussed what happened in Minneapolis a couple weeks ago.
Raymond says there's a heightened need for body cameras and they're looking at various funding sources.
At least one of the officers involved in a recent incident said, I wish we'd had a body camera. I sure wish I'd had a body camera because they want their version of the events to be told on that body camera.
Right now, SPD has 70 operational body cameras and they want 400. That comes with a nearly $3 million price tag.
Policing in 2020 is different than policing in 2000. It was different than policing in 1980, and we understand that. And we're trying to do a better job of improving and meeting the demands of our citizens.
We will continue this discussion with other police departments and lawmakers across the Arklatex to see what measures will be taken in light of the demonstrations throughout our area.